Kind of a late start again today. Right, Doug? Yeah? Alright, well, let's see what we get done. I did a quick test fit. They're actually not terrible, the rockers, but they're definitely crap, like every aftermarket rocker is. It says my lip is here, to which that means I have a gap I can stick my finger through. So, yeah, there's that. But it's not bad because, I shouldn't say not bad. I should say that's okay because, come on. This whole inner step is good and the lower lip is good. So, I can pretty much cut this away and then just zap these two together just into this pocket in here. And then, even though these are super crappy, the silk plate will pretty much hide it all up. So, that's cool. But first, I'm going to get this thing up on jack stands. I have a hoist, but yeah, I still got to use a jack stand. It wouldn't be bad, but the kid's got his junk on my scissor lift. Otherwise, I'd drag that thing over to this side, lift it up on the scissor lift, and it'd be much more pleasurable to do this. But I'll give it a whirl with the jack stand, see how far I get. I think what I want to do is I want to cut this stuff off. That's the plan. And then I was going to start building the inner rocker down. Even if I have excess, I can deal with it and zap it together on there. And then I can put the outside one on. And then we just got to do some floor work and ta-da, one side done. Hopefully it goes that easy. We'll find out. well, we screwed that on just temporarily. It's not where it should be because we don't have any inner stuff. So I guess technically once this goes where it's supposed to go, it actually lines up with this inner brace that's kind of, you can see just a big floppy mess here. So it's got a second structure which just basically comes off of this inner one. I don't know why it does that. It's kind of, I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know why. I guess there's some kind of a structure to it, which to me is going to fill up with garbage. But we can rebuild it relatively easy. That's why I just cut this out. It's kind of non-relevant, I think. If you've seen it, it was just access holes for dirt. So when I'm done, I'll probably just put a plate over top, call it a day. But we still got to rebuild this inside stuff. So I don't know that I'm going to weld anything on here yet, but I do want to pull it up into place. I have to massage the front there a little bit. The back feels good, but all of this, pretty much, I guess, I'm just going to cut. I'll do this in 2 chunks because this is good here and this is clearly holding the doorpost right now. And that's what looks like this second half does, but I don't know. I don't know. It had it. I guess I'll put it in there because it just fills in this half a gap, but it seems silly. I might go in here, just add some braces into the rocker, and then bring, well, I don't really know what I'm doing. All I know is I need this part first, so I'm going to redo this thing and this back piece. This back one, I'll bring it up a ways, and I'll probably just cap this whole thing after the fact. And I guess it should be fine. I don't see the point putting another piece through the middle. Plus, well, this is pretty thin, so what I'm going to use is going to be probably thicker. Anyways, let's start with a measurement from here to here. I'm going to do this as one piece, so I'm going to come up over this edge. And I don't know, like, see, this is a part of the floor. I'm just trying to think this through. The floor needs to be done anyways. I'll do it with a 2-inch lip. I'll go across. That way I can cut. I'll get rid of some of this. I'm going to lay it on top temporarily till I can cut it out. And then I can cut out the floor section that I need to replace. I don't know. It's kind of hard. Doesn't make sense. But just watch me do it and maybe it'll make sense. I'm not sure. That's why we experiment on the passenger side. If I fail, at least I'll know better on the driver's side. That's the door a feller walks up to all the time, so. Alright, well, let's do some measuring. Six, 7. 5 inches will do the bend. 41. 41 by 7. Alright. So this one's not quite the right length, but it'll be okay. It'll work. So anyways, we got to bend up at the 5-inch mark. So that's 5 inches. Okey-dokey. Let's cut some of this off. Well, I was close. I guess I didn't really, I should have measured front to back. When I squeeze this panel in, I bet you I need like almost 7 inches up here, and I'm like 5 inches down in the middle, which this part's right. But this rocker's not happy with life either. It's not quite going all the way back, so I might have to go do this flange with a lip, just so this thing can, so I'm not butt welding these together, so I can kind of do an overlap and do like a butt weld through here. So, live and learn, no big deal. I didn't, this was just a scrap piece I had, to which will get repurposed somewhere else yet. Alright, let's try this again. I'm going to redo that super quick and make the exact same thing, but with the right measurements. My goal is to get it in here that I can kind of zap it on the sides, and I'll just tack it on top, but I'm going to be taking this panel away when I redo the rest of the floor here, because I got to redo it from wherever, probably like this section. These must be the seat mounts, to which I have a different seat, so it's going to mount different anyways. So I can probably get rid of that, and then I'll kind of come in here and patch up the floor, and then we'll work onto this back part. But then, yeah, like I say, then we'll cut out all the rot everywhere. I'm not doing any fancy resto, because this is basically a winter rig. I'm gonna make this, well, as like good, I guess you could say, but it's not gonna be perfect, because whatever, it's gonna see salt, and it doesn't really matter how hard you try, it's gonna rot out again. So I'm gonna make it just easy to maintain, that if I got to do it again, it won't be like crazy amounts of work to come back in and then revisit this, you know, like 8 to 10 years down from now, or less, who knows, depends how harsh our winters are. But that's the plan. Anyways, let's get back to rebuilding this thing, and we'll mock it up and just screw it in place. All right, survey says on new piece, yeah, I guess my floors have sagged a bit. Oh, look at that! Fits a mighty nice. This here is probably due to my rotten floor. She's not where she's supposed to be. Boy, look at that. That is a big rocker. Huh. Interesting. That can hold a lot of dirt. I gotta put some drain holes in, but it's yeah. This worked out nice. I'll have to patch up. I boo-booed up here, but we can fix that. So this is good up to about here. Then we're gonna cut, and we'll make a floor piece for there. Right, well, I think that's as far as I'm gonna get tonight. That is not like the in piece, but now I can cut out the floor and buzz that in. I didn't really want to deal around this body mount, and the metal's all good, so I'm just going to trim around it. Then I'm going to lay this down. I think this is a hair bit off. Should be shuffled over a little more. Then I can massage that a little better. Something moved. This part's right, or my line's wrong. If you could tell when I was bead rolling, I actually had my die on the wrong way. Those things happen. I'm not very concerned about what that looks like because it's under a carpet, so nobody's going to see it. And then around here, it was just a little rotten up on the top part, so basically I just locked it in, and then I have, I don't know, this is like from a really cheap hammer set, but it has a nice round head on it. So essentially, I just kind of beat on it through here. Gave me a nice round curve, and I'll have a nice section to weld to. It's a little high there, but I think that's because of that body mount that I'm going to get removed there. Or body mount or seat mount. That's going to go away. Other than that, I think we've pretty much covered everything. We'll just have to build a patch into there yet. But that's it for tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to cut this out. Well, not quite. I think I'm going to get this part done. Make this bit up there. And then I'll come back here, and I think all I'm going to do is make, like, tack in a panel over top of this. And, I don't know why I would have the other one, because it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm sure there's reasoning to it, because if you can see the body, I guess, is sitting on that. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if it needs it. It seems strong. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind. We'll find out. For now, it's goobed together. This is probably pretty much the easiest to cut this out. So there's some extra welding, but it gets a fella in here, and it's much easier, more, how would you say, you know, it's not as much of a confined space, kind of working from the inside out. I mean, you take it one piece at a time. It works out very well. Now for a whole bunch of welding. Pretty much can do the old zip and weld deal. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm probably going to trace it. I'll probably lap it, but I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch around everywhere, except for here. That's why I bead rolled this edge to strengthen it. And then, yeah, I don't know. I got to correct this. Something's not lined up right, so I'll have to realign that tomorrow. No big deal. But anyways, till tomorrow. Well, just doing a quick check out here because, well, I realized my other car is missing a few parts. And I'm just doing a quick double check to see what I do and don't have. This one has hood hinges, which I really don't want to cannibalize this car, but I guess the other one's going to be on the road before this one is, so that's a doable thing. I guess I'll be using these. And I'm missing the whole wiper mech, and that I have on here too. So I could probably go to some aftermarket street rod thing, which is fine, I guess. Like, electric wipers are a win, but I'm missing these little pads. So we'll see. Worst case, I have an inventory and I know what I have, and I can come back and grab them. I never noticed that. I wonder if this car is a different year or what the deal is. I never noticed that line on top on the other car. I don't think it has that. Kind of cool. And I know there's some spare stuff inside of this car. Oh. So I think the guy I got it from, I think I bought this car off of him as well. But I have a spare dash, so I got a glove box that I need. In my garage I have like the spare insert, like the spare actual dash part, and I think it's got the chrome. I'm not sure if this has, but this does have like the center bar and some stuff like that, so whatever. I guess we'll be stealing some stuff out of here. Unfortunately, this one does not have the rear trunk hinge. That is missing out of here as well. So that's a bummer. But there's all kinds of goodies in here, eh? Look at that. Random stuff. I wish there was a spare garnish molding though for the front. That I have to steal out of this car as well. I don't have for the windshield in the other car. Should go through this one a little better. Maybe I have some bits that I don't know about. Alrighty. Okay. A day or two has passed. And, well, I want to get this done. Just this half here. Done. And then we can cut this out and buzz it all in. And then redo this again on this side. But, first things first. Let's do some measuring here. We're going to bend up this piece. This one's not as terrible, like it's got some bad spots there, to which I have to cut out, but yeah, I don't know. Let's stop thinking and we're just going to cut this up. We got that in. Well, it's not in yet. Basically test fit. Everything's good, good, good. Now basically got to scrub it. Scribe everything. This side I still got to cut all this out. And then I'm just going to grind this up, clean it up. I'm going to make a small patch. It kind of goes over here. And yeah, once that's done, then I can make a piece that just comes over here. That one I'll just tack on. That'll be the sill piece. And then we'll continue on after that. Because the other small bits I'll be able to do on the hoist after. This was the worst part I couldn't get at on the hoist because I can't open the doors. So once that's down, this side's done. I'm going to quickly make all that stuff. And then after the Jeep Fandango, I got just a disaster going on around here. So we're going to clean that up. Right, buddy? No? Don't care? Just a wet dog. Hey? Ugh. You are so wet. So much rain. Hey, dog. How you doing? Well, it's definitely not pretty, but I don't really care because it's a floor. You can probably, if you're watching, you've probably seen I wasn't doing like a lot of spot welding. I was just doing stitches. I don't really care that the floor is warped. I can deal with that. That doesn't. There's gonna be carpet on it. No big deal. So I got that in. This is patched in. I'll have to just put some seam sealer around it yet. I was just gonna wire brush up a bunch of stuff around on the floor here, and then come in around here. Tomorrow I'm gonna tackle the outside. I'm just gonna pull all those off, peel it off, and clean that up, stitch that on, make a couple plates to go over here. Done. The insides I'm gonna, like I say, deal with on the hoist. So I'm gonna make some pockets and stuff on the hoist, weld them up around, close them up. That'll be those. And I think we kind of repeat the process over on the other side. So we'll see where we're at here. Anyways, that's enough for tonight. Didn't get a lot done, but I did something. The floors are welded in, sort of. Till tomorrow. Well, I got my fuel tank. It's a little on the large side. I was supposed to get my sender, but I didn't get it either. And yeah, a few things aren't jiving with it, but I guess I got it. I'm going to use it. I was hoping the filler was going to line up better than it does. And we'll probably still make that work. It has a vent inside, so I can pretty much take this thing. I'll take this thing off. There's supposed to be some vent up here, but I'm just going to weld this shut. And then I have a lock ring and things, but I did buy like a proper sending unit and stuff for this thing. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll turn into my new tank I use for stuff. It's a little, like I say, on the tall side, but because I think the Mustang tanks are not much. Well, maybe. Well, I don't know. It's twice as deep as a Mustang tank, but this one's all set up for the fuel injection. I hope. Whatever. Once that comes in, then once I finish up some of this other stuff, I'll be able to test that in. Test it up and see if it fits in the back. If my hunch was right or not, or if I failed at this. Regardless, I'm going to be using it, but... So, let's get back to this. Finish this side off, so we can start on the other side. Been stalling a few days here. So, good old Norm had all my parts that I needed. So we got a new old stock rear brake line. We got my idler arm. Look how goofy that thing is, eh? Got my kingpins. He only had one wheel bearing, so I'm just going to get another one. I'm just going to do them both while it's apart. And he had my funky U-joint. Check that out. Look at that sucker, eh? I'm hoping I have a drive shaft that I can stick that onto. But that's for a little bit down the road because we're still working on body work. But so we got that. We got our fuel tank. We're slowly collecting the parts. I'll have to figure out gauges and stuff yet. I'm going to keep the stock dash, but I'm going to sink in some different gauges behind the panel. Some newer stuff, because these are all either mechanical or I don't have the senders or anything like that. It'll be mechanical speedo, so I'm going to be hooped there. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing with that yet. Whether I'll change the face out and just put my gauges in. But we'll figure that out when we get closer to that. Alright, well, I've been slacking. A few days have passed. But I'm going to get this side finished up first. And it's probably all I'm going to do tonight. But we'll see where we get here. I'm going to pop these screws off. I'm going to clean this edge up so I can weld that in. I'll probably weld up the inside. And I'll make a filler plate for this. I might make the dual... Yeah, I'm probably going to build that inner rocker structure. Just because... I don't know why. Feel I should do it. Right? Is that what I should do? Alright, let's get started. Okay, well, we got this side, it's all welded in. I just tacked the top on in case I have to take this off for some weird reason, so it's not welded in fully. Same with the sill here, it's just tacked in. I'm going to seam seal it. The bottom, I haven't welded the bottom yet, but I'm going to do that when I get it on the hoist. It'll just be easier when that's said and done. And besides, I have to get in over here and rebuild this stuff here, so I'll rebuild this, pull that awesome chunk of wood out, and I'll rebuild this bottom section. Back here, probably all I'm going to do is kick out the panel. Be good enough for what I need it to do. But yeah, I think this is as far as I'm getting tonight. I been a little lazy, I guess, but I did get the one side done. We'll have to cut out everything on the other side and do this all over. I'll probably just burn through that really quick, and then we can kind of move on to some fun stuff, or at least what I think is fun. Do the motor, a few things like that. Yeah, so I guess that's where we're gonna leave this one. As always, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.